Hello everyone. Again, my voice is very dry where we are, and it's going to be that way for a long time. So my sister is going to have to just get used to it again. So where are we? Well, we made it to Alberta. I know in the last one we talked about us going and visiting Duncan and things, but the price of gas went, and we said we can't afford it. We can't afford to drive up to Nanaimo. That would be, for us, about $150 in fuel. And we decided that it would be better to not do that. Actually, Gary decided, and I found out the day of. So on the 31st, we got on the ferry. I have a video about the ferry. It's actually just us talking. It's not the 2 hours that we were on the ferry. It's just a few minutes of us docking on the other side. So I do have that. But yeah, we crossed. We got into BC mainland, and the weather was beautiful. It was sunny and bright and very cheerful. We drove to, I gotta think now, where were we? Where were we night number one? I know we went past Sawyer's, and I think, we stayed in Kelowna. Yeah, our first night we stayed in West Kelowna. There was a Super 8 motel, and Gary was tired, and we decided to just stop. And there was a really good restaurant right next to the motel, sort of attached to it in a way. But anyway, it was really nice Chinese food. Chinese food restaurant. And so Gary went over and got us some food on a takeout. He got one takeout, and it was plenty for the both of us. And even Bree had a bit. So yeah, we went. And then we traveled on the next day. And I'm trying to think, we went to Sycamores. At Sycamores, we checked the weather in the mountains, and we decided we needed to stay in Sycamores. So we stayed there for 2 nights, I believe, at a very nice Best Western. And I mean very nice. It was a beautiful room. It was nice and big. It had one bed in it, a nice big bed. And it actually had a chair and an ottoman. It had a couple of other things you could use as seats. It was a very, very nice place. It was kind of sad to have to leave, but then when we realized or found out that the pass was sunny and clear through, Gary looked at the webcams that they have all along the highway, and we said it's clear. So we left and we drove right through. We came through. We were going to stop at there's a casino on one of the native lands, and we were going to stop there. It's just not too far in Alberta. It's past Canmore into the end of the foothills kind of thing. But when we got there and he went and priced the room, first off, they didn't have a really good way of us getting to the hotel with me in the wheelchair, because the parking lot had snow all over it. So it was going to be really hard. But then Gary checked the price of the room, and it's $325. No, we are not paying that kind of price for a room. So we went on. Gary took a little bit of a rest in doing that, and felt okay to get back in driving, and we came into Calgary. We're not in Calgary. As we were driving through on the highway, and we were looking for a motel or someplace that we could stay, hotel, and we were looking at parking lots, and the parking lots, for the most part, are small, and which makes it really awkward. We could have gone further into the city and gone to some of the motels that are in the northeast, but we decided to go to Airdrie. So we came here, and right now we're at a Best Western, We like them. They include breakfast for one thing, which kind of, if you think about it, for us to have breakfast, buy breakfast someplace, is a minimum of $30 for the two of us. That's McDonald's breakfast, or, that's what it costs. So, yeah, and if we get breakfast someplace else, then we pay more. So if you think about it that way, they've included breakfast, and it was good breakfast. We stayed in Sycamores, we stayed for 2 days, and had really nice breakfast both days. Here, we've spent our first night here already. We've got 2 more we're going to be spending. And breakfast this morning was good. Hard-boiled egg, some sausage patties, sausages, and some hash browns, and I had some yogurt, and we had English muffin. And we always get a couple of extra bits for gravy because we have to take her out of the room, and we can't take her to breakfast, so we have to put her into the motorhome, and she gets very sad about that. So we always bring her a little bit of breakfast. So she had some sausage and some hash browns, and she didn't care for the bread, but that's okay. So we had a good breakfast, and we're going to be here, like I said, for another couple of days. The trip out was wonderful, even through the mountains. Where it got cold was as soon as we reached Canmore, basically. Then there was more and more snow on the ground, and it got colder. And I can't deal with cold right now, and Gary can't really do it either. So, we have to spend money on motel rooms. And it sounds expensive. Well, it is, but it's something we have to do while we're looking for someplace that's more permanent. And we're hoping that the weather clears. It's snowing, and it's supposed to snow for the next 2 days, which is why we're here for 2 more days. And so we're hoping it stops snowing and gets warmer so that we can start staying in the motorhome while we're looking for someplace. Once we're finished here, the plan is that we're going to go a little bit further north, and we're going to be looking for places. There's several small towns just north of Airdrie, not too far, and they're about, if you know the province, they're about halfway between Calgary and Red Deer. There's some little towns in there. So we're going to be looking and seeing if we can find any place that we can rent for a reasonable amount, and be able to get into a place that we can work from. Which means we're looking for either a house with a double-car garage, or some sort of a shop that we can live in. For me, it doesn't matter which way we go. Neither does Gary mind. It's just that we need some place that we can get our stuff out of storage, move into it, and be there, because the plan is we have to be here for a year. And it's partly because of my eyes, and partly because we need to build up some money so that when we go to Ontario, the plan is still to go there. Unless something happens over the course of the next year to change our mind, the plan is still to go to Ontario, Southern Ontario. But we need some money to go with so that we can afford to get into a place as soon as we get there, because we will be bringing all our stuff with us. So so there is that. And we have to figure out, what we're going to be doing exactly. But Gary's got things that he's doing, and I've got things I need to be doing. And right now I can't do anything because there's just not space enough in the motel rooms and in the motorhome, as we've already said. But so that's the update for this time. It's more of an RV update than it is anything else. How is my eye doing? It's doing fine. I did not see the doctor in Victoria one more time, which is why we could leave on the 31st. And my appointment with the doctor here in Calgary is not until the 28th of April. In the meantime, I'm doing my drops. The one drop that used to be once every hour, it went down to once every 2 hours, and then right now it's 4 times a day for, I think it's a month. And then it drops again and it drops again after that. And it's quite a long process, that one. So I'll be using that drop quite a long time yet. The other drops don't necessarily stop. Any that we're going to stop have stopped. Until I see Dr. Crichton, I won't know any more than that. So that's the update on my eye. You can kind of see our room behind me. These are curtains. And when the heater comes on, this one curtain closes really big. So I want to get through this before the heater comes back on again. But yeah, we have a really nice bed. It's a little messy because I was sleeping earlier. And pardon me, there's a chair over in this corner that you can't really see. I can't really get out of place. That you can't really see. So that's about it. We have a fridge and we have a microwave. There's coffee. There's a TV, but we don't watch TV. It's actual TV channels, and we don't find them very good. We don't find any of the programs really interesting to us. When we were watching the other one, we were watching Antiques Road Trip, but it was a different system. That was a telesystem, and this had big departures. So it's a completely different channel, and we can't get our Antiques Road Trip on it, so oh well. But yeah, so that's about it. I want to wish you all a happy Easter. If you celebrate, you know, if you don't, well, happy days. And I'm going to take on. I will probably not do an update for a while, unless something exciting happens, like we get a place or, you know, something happens. So I will talk to you when I can, and I'll be look after yourselves. Take care.